Well, here we are at the old Buckhorn Flea Market and Jockey's Lot, where when I was a kid and a teenager, I came here a lot, especially with my mom. Well, I sold here with my parents. My parents and I would come here. God, they've gotten rid of a lot of the tables. They're going to be tearing this all down. But we bought our first dog, Chelsea, here in the late 80s. And I used to come here as a teenager. My buddy Jeff and I, we used to sell stuff here. But I remember my mom and I, we bought baseball cards here, you know. So I have probably a lot of the cards that we bought here. George and I came here a few months ago when it was still open. I didn't see any no trespassing signs, but hey, look, there's a car there, an abandoned car. Somebody's homeless here. Oh God, I don't know, there's somebody here. I don't know, maybe they're cleaning it. But yeah, sometimes I'd sell out there back in the day. Look, looks like they're tearing it down little by little. One time Jeff and I got lucky and we got to sell here around Christmas time because it was cold and they just so happened to have a space in here. Look at they used to sell furniture right here. There used to be a couple, an Asian lady and a white guy. They were a married couple, and they used to sell on one of these corners. I bought a lot of cards from them when I was a kid. Yeah, this won't be here very much longer. So they still have an old 563 number. Wow, that's the old Mevin digits. I used to buy biscuits from this place in the morning when we get here. Hot chocolate and egg and cheese biscuits or whatever I was hungry for when we get biscuits. But this was here since the 80s. I don't know if you guys remember brownie soda, but I remember there used to be a machine right here that sold chocolate brownie soda. This is right where I used to buy cards, and they used to have candy and sports cards. Yeah, good stuff. You reckon there's any soda in there? Hell yeah, baby. The old trailer. Somebody might be living in there. Oh, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Look at that old school popcorn maker. I guess it's a popcorn maker. Guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate y'all joining me. Look at all this. Crazy. This is out here is where we bought Chelsea. The truck it was a pickup truck full of little puppies, a litter of puppies of Labrador yellow labs. Yep. I use that restroom many a times. They've taken the tables. You know, it used to be $8 to sell here, and last I heard they charged $15, which it makes sense. You know, it was $8 way back in the '90s. So I always thought it was just so ugly out here, just surround nothing but the little pine trees, like you're in the woods of pine trees. Um, just is what it is. But I thought years ago, back in the '90s, they would have leveled this and built a mall, like a big mall, back, you know, in the golden age of malls. It wouldn't make sense now, but seems like my buddy Jeff and I one time we sold like right in this section. I bet Jeff would remember that. And there was a guy I remember. This would have been back in like '96, and R. Kelly's "I Believe I Can Fly" had just come out, and I remember he had it on repeat. It played over and over all freaking day. I remember us saying, how many times can he listen to that? We had a good day. It was a good time though. Good stuff. There used to be a gentleman that sold back in that region. I remember he used to sell corn. He grilled corn. That's kind of cool. I can't tell what that is way back in the horizon. In fact, is that a trailer? I don't know. Weird to think this will all be a factory soon. Distribution center for diesel trucks, for semis. Be like, you know, truck driving material. And the tables, man, they're way back here. Another memory I have, we used to come back here when it was snowing. I know my buddy Mitch and I, we did in his four-wheel drive Jeep, and then I know my uncle and I, Ron had a Mazda. Yeah, I know we took it back here in the snow. I remember there was that telephone pole right there. Man, because of the snow, we didn't see that. Man, we went airborne. That didn't feel too good. Yeah, brother. Well, goodbye, Buckhorn.